What was the defining moment in your early years that sparked that passion for entrepreneurship and women empowerment?
I discovered that there are a lot of women out there doing wonderfully well for themselves, and they are not being seen. Who is showcasing all these people? Do we have a platform? I started making research. I saw a lot of magazines for women. We will have a magazine for ladies, and that was how I came about Ladies in Business magazine publication, and they will be featuring women from different parts of the world, sharing their success stories, everything that has to do with the women.
From Ogun State, Nigeria, to the global stage, she's empowering women to be seen, heard, and recognized. Founder of Ladies in Business magazine Global, the powerhouse behind She Global Awards, and president of the African Arab Women Chamber of Commerce. She's redefining what it means to lead, inspire, and impact.
When I came to Dubai, I saw the same motive that gives me the intention to start the magazine over there. I see women here, some of them are timid and they are scared of coming out saying that they are successful. And I'm like, no, now is the time. I realized that most of all those women have not been appreciated. And I said, how can we come about this also? And that was when I started the She Global Awards International. The award is not about the winner or the loser. It's about appreciating the efforts of all these female entrepreneurs that you've been seen, you've been heard, and you have been recognized and appreciated for what you are doing and for what you will still do. Yes, you are not there yet, but definitely we are on the journey with you to the top.
Welcome to the show, Ambassador Adeshola. It's so nice to have you here.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm so delighted to be here in the UAE on your podcast show.
Amazing,
Well done,
amazing.
well done.
Yeah. When I went through, your profile and I saw the remarkable achievements you've had over the years, for a Black, African woman, Nigerian woman.
You can say that again. I mean, we are Nigerians and we know what we're doing, and we love to do what we know how to do best. And for me as a person, I love to do, I'm very, very passionate about everything I'm doing.
Okay.
And once again, I really want to thank you for doing what you're doing here.
You're welcome.
It's a wonderful thing, and I would love you to do more, in the sense that I would love a situation whereby if you people can dive into something that I'm hoping to do in the future, but maybe because I have so many things on my plate at the moment, you can do what I've actually been looking out for, which is African broadcasting station. Yes, we have Dubai Eye and some other, Indian radio station. Why not have African radio station?
Okay.
You are from Africa, isn't it? I mean, from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Please put this in your, as part of something you can do so that you can showcase Africa. We can tell our stories by ourselves. We don't have to allow them to, change the narrative for us. We have to tell the story just the way it is. And I mean, we have a lot of things to talk about.
Okay.
Fashion, music, food. I mean, what have you?
Sports.
So, you imagine.
Yeah.
You understand? So please, we have a lot to dish out. Think about that.
I'll take that. I'll take that with a very, very serious note, because
You're welcome.
one of the reasons for the channel on this, podcast is to tell our stories.
Absolutely.
And I believe so much in telling our stories by ourselves, because I think
Absolutely.
there's this stereotype with Africans, especially Nigerians.
Absolutely.
So we need to start speaking up. We need to start telling our stories by ourselves,
Absolutely.
and trying to change that narrative.
Absolutely.
But as we dive deep into your journey, your amazing journey, to understand you, what is the earliest context that I need?
Okay. First of all, I'm an accountant by profession.
All right.
And I'm the first and the only child for my mom. And I'm from Ijebu-Ode in Ogun State. And I went to Anglican Girls Grammar School in Ijebu. And I went to Yabate College of Technology, where I had OND in accounting. Then I went to Lagos State University, where I had a HNBSc in accounting. And I'm a banker. I worked in 3 banks in Nigeria: FCMB, GTB, and then Oceanic Bank then, now Eco Bank. And I had a wonderful banking experience before I started doing my own business. And when I left the banking industry, I said to myself that there are so many things that I've seen that young women, female are actually doing.
Right.
And being the mother of 3 wonderful girls, I said to myself, I'm going to dive into the female world because there are so many things that are lacking. And I said to myself, let's make something happen. For the father, I have teenagers that are growing up, and I want something for them to rest on, to be rest assured that things are going to be fine for them. We are in a in a patriotic society that women are being, you can testify to what I'm saying, not only even in Africa, even here in the United Arab Emirates. But thank God to the president here, giving the women the platform for them to come out to showcase themselves, not minding the religion or the culture, give them the chance and opportunity to go to school, to learn 1 or 2 things to do. This is what other African countries also should be looking into, not bringing down the women, in the society, to depress them, not for them to, become a full, potential. And women can actually do a lot. We are
I could
lot.
actually tell, and to be very honest, I believe so much in women empowerment, because if you empower women, you transform a nation.
Absolutely.
So I'm part of this person that will tell you, okay, that girl child should be given the same as the boy child.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And looking at your story, when you just talked about your early childhood in Ijebu-Ode.
Ijebu-Ode,
so I'm the only child. Okay, so
Absolutely.
can you walk us through that journey as that young girl, growing up in Ijebu-Ode? What was the dream like for you?
Yeah, the dream was very, very determined. When you look around you, you see your family, your people, doing wonderful things, and you don't want to be left out. And there is that determination as a young child growing up.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be like this somehow.
Okay, you saw this.
Right, like really,
Wow.
because I saw some things that I know that it shouldn't be, like some things that I felt that I'm going to achieve in the future. And I saw some people's life.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, my life can't be like this. My life has to be this way. So there is that inner determination for success, hungry to achieve something big while I was small. So growing up, yes, maybe one way or the other, things happen to you, life happens to you. But again, like people used to say, it doesn't happen to you, they happen for you, so that you can learn the lesson, pick up the pieces, and get back up and do what you have to do. So for me, it's not that I was pampered as the only child. I wasn't. But again, I had the privilege of having wonderful parents, and of course my grandma, whom I grew up with, and staying with grandma, they're supposed to pamper you, but my grandma didn't pamper me.
She was very strict?
Very, very strict and extremely protective of me. So, I mean, of course, with love, you understand. So I would say my growing up was interesting, but with a great self-determination of whom I should be and what I should become in future. And I said to myself, when things started coming up, I said, okay, I knew this, so this is the way to go. Okay, now I'm here. This is the next stage. Now this is the next stage. Okay, what next again? So it's like everything just keep on unfolding itself right in my presence. And I thank God, like I love to live and enjoy every moment of my life. Staying present in my life, it's something that I will employ people to always do, because when you forget the things that could have been, that didn't happen, all you just have to do is just be very, very, having a Thanksgiving mode, giving praise to God, knowing fully well that is there for you, and it's going to make everything possible at the right time for you.
Amazing. You're very energetic. I like the energy in this room right now. It's so contagious. Thank you. Well, as we look further on looking at your journey so far, what was the defining moment in your early years that sparked that passion for entrepreneurship and women empowerment? Because you do a lot of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when I left the banking industry, I started doing my event business. That was the first business I started, because events is what we Ijebu people love to do. We love parties. So it's something that I found, easy breezy, very easy for me to start. I mean, these are the things we do normally without being professional about it. So I just said that, you know what, let me start doing event management, which I dived into. It was wonderful. I attended a lot of seminars, conferences and what have you, weddings and stuff. But while doing that business, I discovered that there are a lot of women out there doing wonderfully well for themselves. And they are not being seen, heard, and recognized. And I said, who is showcasing all these people? How can all these women be seen, heard, and recognized? And I said, do we have a platform, like a magazine platform? And I started making research. I saw a lot of magazine for women. Okay. But I said, no. I want a particular one that can help them to grow from stage A to stage B.
Okay.
All those women that are already on the women magazine and all, they're already up there. And before they get up there, they have been helped one way or the other before getting there. So I said, no, I want a station whereby we will have a magazine for ladies, transitioning them from a stage to another stage, to give them that confidence and platform that they can be more while they do more. And there was no magazine like that. And that was how I came about Ladies in Business magazine publication that I have been featuring. And they will be featuring women from different parts of the world, telling them, sharing their success stories and their struggle stories for, young ones, for them to know about them, to know that, whatever situation you are, someone has been there before. So, and this is where they are now. So wherever you find yourself, just keep on keeping on. So the magazine talks about all about that. Also about fashion. We talk about marriage. We have a corner session for the men also.
All right.
So that doesn't look like a scene.
It's just like a one-sided thing.
You understand? Yeah. So, and we talk about business. We talk about health and wellness.
Okay.
We talk about everything that has to do with the women. So that was when I started the magazine. And lo and behold, I started that in Nigeria. And when I came to Dubai, 2019, I saw the same motive that gives me the, intention to start a magazine over there. That I see women here. Some of them are timid to be, they are timid and they are scared of coming out saying that they are successful. And they're like, no, I'm fine. Oh, no, I've not reached that stage. I said, when are you going to reach the stage? No, now is the time. So I said to myself, let's start bringing out all this way and let women have that confidence. And also, we have the young female entrepreneurs there where we feature young female ones, upcoming ones. So by so doing, I found out about something else again. I realized that most of all these women have not been appreciated. And I said, how can we come about this also? And that was when I started the She Global Awards International.
Okay.
We started that in 2018 in Nigeria. And as we may have it, when we started the She Awards, it was more or less like an emotional event. You will hear women saying for the past 20 years, for the past 15 years, this is the first time somebody is noticing me, and it's like as if I'm not going to be there, or maybe I'm not doing enough, or I'm not doing well. And these are the things I have noticed in the past that made me start the magazine and also for the award event. So the award is not about the winner or the loser. It's about appreciating the efforts of all these female entrepreneurs that you've been seen, you've been heard, and you have been recognized and appreciated for what you are doing and for what you will still do. Yes, you are not there yet, but definitely we are on the journey with you to the top. So,
amazing.
Yes, and lo and behold, the rest has been history.
Now, when we look at your publication, we also look at the series of awards that you've been championing over the years.
Yeah.
One thing stands out: the fact that you are very strong on women empowerment.
Absolutely.
And I'm actually going to go towards your achievements in course of the show.
Yeah,
but I'm very particular about your transitioning. You transitioned from the banking industry where you spent over a decade.
Yeah.
And you had to take a leap into business and entrepreneurship.
Yes.
I actually want to know what gave you that courage to actually take that leap, because it's quite very when I use the word, it takes a lot.
I know.
It takes a lot to leave your career, your bread and butter, and you transition into the business space.
It's actually a lot. And there was a junction of something that really happened. In fact, that same time, I was on the promotion list in the banking in the bank then.
Okay.
I already dropped my resignation letter because then my girls were growing up and they were becoming teenagers.
Okay.
And I started having the feelings that there's this form of gap between me and my daughters. And I don't like that because I want to be there for them while they're growing up. And I mean, we all know some, pedophiles out there and all that things do happen. And I don't want that situation to happen to my daughters. So I decided to leave the banking industry. Coupled with the fact that I was now getting tired of waking up every morning. Right? So I dropped my resignation letter already. Fortunately or unfortunately, I was on the promotion list in the bank. And I was being tempted whether to go withdraw my resignation letter or I should just leave it that way. But again, I said to myself, what will it be? Of what yardstick or joy will it be for me as a mother, staying in the banking industry, attaining the greater heights, and yet my children's life are, the other way around. And I said to myself, no, I have to still resign. So I left the banking industry so that I can be with my children. And of course, started doing business also that will allow me to be with the children and at the same time still be a business person.
So the decision was actually championed,
yes.
The fact that you wanted to spend time with your kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, there'll be a time they won't need you anymore. The time they needed me is that time, and I have to be there for them. By the grace of God, right now, they don't need me anymore.
Because trust me,
yes.
you gave them the foundation.
Absolutely.
That's what matters.
Absolutely.
I'm here today because I had a very solid foundation from my parents.
Absolutely.
They laid a very strong foundation for me. So I use that, in navigating the journey of life. But let's quickly look at, your magazine a little bit because apparently it stands out. So we want to know why it stands out from other magazines or other publications.
Yes, yeah. Like I used to tell people, try to do something different. For the fact that you're doing something doesn't mean that somebody else is not doing it or have not done it or they're still not going to do it. So make sure whatever you're dishing out, it's something, cliche with something that people can actually recognize and, acclimatize themselves with. So not just doing the magazine's sake, and make sure that it's something different. Sorry, I'm supposed to come with a copy. I actually had a copy.
Okay.
So it's a double-sided magazine.
Okay.
So when you turn to the front, it's a cover page of a woman. And when you turn to the other side, is another cover page of another woman from another country. Yeah. So I try to make it like a, inclusion kind of magazine from different women, different industries, from different parts of the world. Because we all have our own different stories from different industries that we have to share. Of course, we are sharing their stories, but they are success ones and when they were struggling, right? And these are real people, not just, your regular fame people like that. We don't cover those ones. We ensure that we cover real people with real stories because the magazine is actually being championed by women also. All the articles in the magazine from different segments are being written by women also.
Amazing. So it is fair to say that the magazine is there to uplift unknown voices.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For them to be known.
That's remarkable though.
Absolutely. Unsung heroes.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As you look further at your journey so far, now, as someone that's actually managing multiple initiatives across continent, how do you balance, purpose with sustainability in business?
Yeah, that has been a great challenge, I must confess. But thank God, like I said, my kids are grown up, so I can move and swim.
So you feel like you can fly now?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely, yeah. Though it's not been an easy journey, but it's what I love that I've been doing. I'm passionate about everything I'm doing. Okay. So I'm not just finding them like as if I'm doing a job. I'm just finding them like doing my hobby, So, I'm representing different organizations. That's why I'm being an ambassador. I've been called an ambassador. I'm representing Business Development Union, Diplomat in Turkey. I'm representing an organization from Israel. as a Nigerian, and I'm representing an organization also from the United Nations in Paris. And of course, I'm the president of the African Arab Women Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also representing some stakeholders organizations in Rasakema and in Ajman, and of course in UAE entirely. Yeah, so doing all these things are kind of similar, because my job has been more of being a representative of Nigeria to all these organizations, because there are lots of organizations out there, looking out into coming into Africa. And when you're talking of Africa, Nigeria, my beautiful country, is
Our
the next
country.
our
But I'm
country.
a patriotic Nigerian as well.
Thank you.
All right.
So Nigeria is the forefront of African countries when you're looking at and talking about investment and what have you, which is where I comes in to bringing investment into the country, from different sectors: agriculture, education, hospitality, and what have you. So all these areas are the things that I juggle. So I move practically, travel from one country to the other, depending on my itinerary of what I got to do in any of those countries.
Amazing.
Yes.
Someone watching this show right now, especially, I want the woman, the young woman, or that girl watching this right now should actually key into, Ambassador Adeshola's story. She came from, Ijebu-Ode
Ijebu-Ode,
in
yes.
Ogun State.
Yes.
And she is where she is now, a global figure, an ambassador, flying the colors of Nigeria, the green, white, green color.
Absolutely.
Proudly, and that's what I love.
Proudly, absolutely.
So when you were just talking about the titles that you hold and your duty so far, can you share your journey more? As the president of the African Arab Women Chamber of Commerce, and how your journey has been so far.
Yeah. It's been a wonderful one. Again, how come about the African Arab Women Chamber of Commerce? Because I'm an African woman, and I realized that, like I said, there are some form of similarities and, significant in terms of value, culture, business, and trade, and what have you. So, coming from Africa session, I know my African women with their, business conglomerates and what they need and all that. So now in the United Arab Emirates and some part of Oman also that I've been to, I have some of my business connection over there, and some also in Qatar. So I decided that, let's have that bridge to bridge this gap. Back in the olden days, from the Sahara Desert, the Arab wars, people used to trade back through the camel on the desert down to Africa. You understand? So why do we have to stop that? You understand? So that is why I said that let's have a chamber bridging that gap for the women again.
Okay. For the woman and by the woman.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I said that let's have that chamber.
Okay.
By the grace of God, through the chamber, we've been navigating, connecting, networking women from both regions to come together for business, for collaboration, for partnership, for business growth. Of course, at the end of the day, economic development.
Amazing. So, as the president of the African Arab Chamber of Commerce, what does your office do to help the shape Africa's, especially Nigeria's, global image?
Yeah. So presently, what we do as part of our activities, we engage with business, apart from conferences, events, and what have you.
Okay.
We engage in with our business women who are our members from both regions, to have a business relationship. Like, for example, we have people now that we are taking some scraps from Nigeria to Oman.
Okay.
For whatever they need to use it to produce with at the end of the day. Yeah. So vis-a-vis as well, there are some companies here that are into hood and oils and perfume oils and what have you, that they're supplying back to Nigeria as well. So through the chamber, we have lots of different activities specifically for the members, because people had to come into the chamber to register as members, and they will be able to enjoy a lot of benefits. And apart from that, we help also for those that are looking out to establish their businesses in Nigeria, from UAE or the Arab world in Africa, or from Africa back to the Arab world also. So maybe they need to, for example, we assisted a lady that is looking into, doing some businesses in Nigeria to do a business registration license and what have you. And we have a lot of people also looking into coming into Dubai to register and have office and all that. So those are part of the activities that we engage with people, that we dish out for the members that are interested.
Amazing. And I want to, ask this is like a very personal question.
Sure.
For me.
Yeah.
And of course, I know that Nigerian watching this right now, there's this stereotype when you carry a Nigerian passport.
Yeah.
It's no longer news.
Absolutely.
Okay. When you show up anywhere, at the airport, any room, and you show that green passport, or it is being seen that you're Nigerian, there's this tag, there's this profiling.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And I think it's not fair. Okay. So consider the fact that you do a lot of representation, for the Nigerian community.
Yes.
What do you think, diaspora community, need to do in terms of reshaping, our global image and changing that narrative? You walk into various rooms across, continents, in the Middle East, in Europe, So what do you think diaspora communities should be doing to change that narrative? Absolutely. So a Nigerian walks into any room and, could not be, misrepresented.
Absolutely. Like you can say that again. Thank you for that question. First of all, we all need to come together, and thank God we just had our Independence Day celebration, and we have a lot of Nigerians that attended, and with the Consular General of the country as well. These and many more other activities are what we're supposed to be engaging ourselves in, to let people know that we are good people. It's okay. There are a lot of propaganda on the media about Nigerians and what have you. And of course, who says there are no other bad people from other nationalities? You understand? But again, because of, the news going out there, Nigerians this, Nigerians that, and all that. And like I used to tell people, please, when you're going out also, make sure you represent very well. Actually, when I first came to Dubai, when I started going out, to events and all that, I realized that, no, Shola, I need to do something to signify myself out. I don't want to be like every other person. I have where I come from, my own heritage. So I changed the narrative by starting to dress my African way. So when you see me, you don't even ask where I come from, because there's this, way of feeling like, oh, where do you come from? You already see me. I'm from Africa, right? And, there's this kind of, how will I put it? Some form of sentiment, when they ask you, where do you come from? Some form, I don't want to say maybe trying to mock you sort of a thing. So I took it upon myself to literally started dressing my African Nigeria Ijebu way. So when you see me, you don't even know going to ask me, because you can see it written all over me.
Amazing.
So asking me that question, it's a no. So by so doing, I can literally say I got the attention, I got the respect, and I got the love, because I wasn't dressing the way every other person they are dressing. I mean, the Arab people, they wear their kandora and what have you. I'm an African woman. Let me dress my African way. You understand? So by so doing, engaging in different stakeholders meetings, rooms and what have you, it has really helped me, coupled with the fact that by the grace of God, there is no issues of any, maybe you having some, immoralities, activities, or you are being founded where you are not supposed to be and all that, having good culture and consciousness that this is where I come from. It's not an easy thing, especially even for me. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a woman, and what have you again? You understand? So it wasn't a good kind of place for me. But again, I changed the narrative, and it really worked for me all this while in the United Arab Emirates.
Amazing. Now, talking about changing the narrative, I want you to, talk to that Nigerian in any part of the world right now watching this.
Yeah.
In the United Arab Emirates, in UK, in the US, in Europe, on the need to represent Nigeria, positively. Because at the end of the day, yes, there's this stereotype, but I think we should be responsible enough.
Absolutely.
We should represent our country,
Absolutely.
very well in terms of being citizens.
Absolutely.
Okay. So yes, people might say, whatever they want to say. But I think the onus lies on us as Nigerians
Absolutely.
to act right, to stay away from certain vices.
Absolutely.
So what would be, that words or statements to that Nigerian watching this right now in any part of the world?
Yeah, I'm going to say be yourself and be very confident.
Okay.
And the third one that I'm going to say is actually what the consular said on the Independence Day celebration, that you are a good Nigerian, you're a good Nigerian. There's no two ways about that.
Yeah.
If you're good, you're good. You don't need or want or, need someone to, to make you feel that maybe you're not good.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing the right thing. And I want to say that for you to have that, ground wherever you find yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever skills you have, whatever profession that you're studying, make sure you're grounded well. Okay. So that, not that you can be replaceable, but you'll be respected and valued. In the sense that when they see you, they will know that, yes, they've seen someone. Because by the grace of God, any room I entered, they are always standing up for me. Like, really. Yeah.
I saw that. I was actually, for a couple of persons that do not know, October 1st, she actually is part of the person that champions the Independence Day celebration in the United Arab Emirates. Okay. I was invited and I was there. So I saw the energy in the room, and I see the fact that you are one Nigerian woman that represents the country so well.
Yes.
So when I attended that event, on the 1st of October and saw how everything panned out. And I also, heard testimonials from Nigerians and non-Nigerians. One thing was actually running in my mind. I'm like, okay, why are you championing, the Independence Day celebration abroad, mixing, would I say culture and business?
Yes.
Why are you doing that?
It's an inclusion, for crying out loud.
Okay.
And again, for me as a business person, these are the people that I deal with. Not just Nigerians. I have a lot of other people from other nationalities that I deal with. And for the fact that they know that I'm from Nigeria, I'm using it as an opportunity to let them see me and my other good fellow Nigerians, that it's not just me. I have lots of good people from Nigeria. It's part of what I'm saying, for us to change the narrative. Doing activities like this, for them to see us, whom we are. There are a lot of good people from Nigeria. So, and because, when I'm in the back scene with them, having one or two businesses to do with them, they don't bring in the Nigeria factor to me and say, oh, from Nigeria, oh, from Nigeria. No, that factor can't play because they've known me and they've seen me. So that is just outside the box. Outside the box. So that is what I would love us to be doing more. And that is why I took it upon myself. In fact, when I came to 2019, nothing like that. 2020, nothing like that. 2021, nothing like that. And I'm like, what's going on? I've been attending other countries' nationalities, other nationalities' National Day. I've been to Filipinos' National Day, the Indians and, different countries. They've been inviting me. I said, why am I not being called? What's happening to Nigeria?
Okay.
And 2022, I started it. And I said, I'm going to continue doing this. And by the grace of God, I tell you, it has really, really affected me positively than negatively. And I will continue to do this.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I sitting in this studio and talking with you on these issues. This is very dear to my heart because I know what it means, to be a Nigerian.
Absolutely.
And just to add to that, there's something I saw somewhere, and of course, and something I believe in. Success knows no race, knows no gender.
Yes,
okay.
No gender.
If you're a good person, you're a good person.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if you're Nigerian or not.
Absolutely.
If you're good at what you do, if you're the best in the room, nobody cares if you're black or Nigerian.
At all.
Right? So these are the things that I want young people in Africa or even young people as immigrants should understand.
Absolutely.
Okay? Ken walks into a room and he's best at what he does, and they only care he's Ken. That's what matters.
That's it.
If he can has, something, a service or good to give to people, if they're hungry, they don't care if I'm Nigerian or not.
Absolutely.
They'll just take what I have to give.
Absolutely.
So I think as Nigerians, we should understand that.
Absolutely.
Increase your capacity.
Sure.
Always be good.
Absolutely. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Amazing. So as we look further, on this, story of yours,
Yes.
what would you say has been the biggest sacrifice you had to make to get to your level? Because oftentimes we talk about the success stories and we don't talk about the sacrifices.
Yeah. The sacrifice is just majorly finding a way to improve more, get things. I don't want to say I like chaos or I love some challenges, but I love to champion things that have not been done before. So for me, I'm not going to say that I've seen challenges as such, because I literally look out for challenges, things that are not smooth.
Yeah.
I love to pass through them to make it smooth so that others can come in and join me. So far, so good. Apart from the initial time that I started, getting to meet people here in the UAE, which wasn't difficult as such at the end of the day, because I realized that, UAE people are very good people. They just want to be sure that you are not taking them for granted.
Okay.
And I have a lot of friends, even from the immigration. Captain Essa, she's a woman. Like, she literally has given me a credit card to just help her to get some things on Amazon. For like 3-4 weeks, she just left a credit card with me, knowing fully well I'm not going to do anything with it. And of course, I'm not going to do anything with that.
Yeah.
So they are so...
Some level of trust there.
You understand what I'm saying? You understand? So I'm not going to say I've really seen so much challenges like that. And of course, for the fact that the grace of God is upon me.
Yeah.
I'm a child of God.
I going through your profile, if you Google Ambassador Adeshola, the first thing you would see is child of God.
Absolutely.
I'm actually a child of God too.
Absolutely. I know. I know. We are special.
Yeah, we are special people, right? So talking about challenges, looking back, what's that risk you are most grateful that you took?
Okay, I think I would say was when I left Nigeria. I wouldn't say leave because
you're always going back.
I'm going back and forth. Yeah. Was when I decided to come to United Arab Emirates.
Okay.
Because then I found out that I want to go global. I don't want to be local, because I was actually preaching the word, take your local business to a global level. Don't just remain local. Find a way where you can have some form of international connections, right?
Okay.
So coming to United Arab Emirates was the step for me, was something that I felt that, man, this is risky. If it's not going to work, it's going to be very, very dangerous at the end of the day. So I would say taking that risk was great and worth it, because if I didn't take that, I'm not sure we'll be having this discussion today.
Apparently.
Yes, yeah. So though maybe we will still be, but maybe not
in this context.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So, which is why I will always advise people, please, it's good for you to take the risk, because you have the chances that you can win. But not taking the risk at all, there's no chance for you to win. Yeah, there's no chance that you can win.
That's deep, actually.
Yeah, there's no chance that you can win not taking the risk. So you can take the risk. Yes, you can win, but you may not win. You have two options, 50-50 there. Okay. But not taking it at all is 100% no win. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand that. That's deep, though.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's better to just look for, to take up that risk. And taking the risk takes a lot. And most times, a lot of people, winners, people that have actually made it in life, they've all taken that successful risk that has gotten them to where they are. So everybody has the opportunity to take that risk. So it's left for you to choose. Are you going to stay still or you jump?
Amazing. I'm enjoying this conversation, Ambassador Adeshola. So if you could leave one lasting message for young African and Arab women listening to this conversation right now, what would that be?
I'm going to say, faith it till you make it.
Wow.
Don't fake it. Because a lot of
it.
people
Okay.
are faking things on social media and what have you. And when you get to the people that are going to help you, they're going to know that you're faking it. And they don't like fake. They like the authenticity, the originality.
Yeah.
But when you have the faith that you're getting somewhere and you are acting it, you're doing it, you're presenting it and projecting it, you're going to get there. So continue to have that faith through hard work, consistency, commitment, dedication, and you will get there.
Amazing. And I know you watching this. There are a lot of nuggets from this episode. Trust me, as a Nigerian, as an African, you know, you don't want to miss this. And I don't want it to look like we're only talking about the Nigerian context.
Yes.
You know, it's more of an African thing.
Absolutely.
Cameroonians, Ghanaians,
Everyone.
Ugandans.
Yes.
As long as you are a person of color,
Yes.
you know, Ambassador Adeshola tells you that you have to do it. You can.
Absolutely.
You know, if you Google, just Google, you know, Ijebu-Ode, you know, it's someplace. Coming from that place and getting to where you are right now, that's a very huge, you know, achievement. And I'll say thank you, especially the fact that you're a woman.
Yeah.
It's not easy to be a woman, you know. I have two sisters, so I know what it is. Right. I know how it is. I grew up with my aunts. I saw how it was. Absolutely. You know, so thank you for all you do.
My pleasure.
Thank you for flying the African flag, I would say.
Of course.
I wouldn't want to say Nigerian flag now.
Right.
African, you know, flag, and of course the Nigerian flag so high. You know, that we need more people like you. We need more people to tell our story. Absolutely. We need more people to, you know, be very confident, energetic, and determined, you know, to help shape Africa's global image.
Absolutely.
So, conclusively, what would you say? Because I'm about to wrap up. Your final words, please.
Okay. What am I going to say now? I'm just going to say thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And please don't stop doing it. And like I said the other time, please try to see if you can, you know, I don't know what the name of this podcast show is.
It's Fused with Ken, actually.
Okay, yeah. So if there's something, you can just make it, you know, to Africanize it. I don't know if that's allowed with your, you know, plan. I don't know what you have in the future. This would be a very great leap for us in the UAE, for Africans to really have their stay put, their stand here in the UAE, so that people can know us, know more about us. You know, some people are thinking Africa is just a country. It is a continent. So they need to be aware more of all these informations from Zimbabwe, from Kenya, Ethiopia. I mean, a lot of countries from Africa. So you should look into that. I think that's very dear to my heart.
Oh my goodness, that's good. I'll take it. I'll take it.
So,
I like that. Thank you so much, Ambassador Adeshola. My team will actually look at it, brainstorm on it, and you know, act on it. You're actually an inspiration, not just to everybody watching, to me personally. All right. Thank you for all you do. I'm very grateful for all you do. Now, today we've had the privilege of sitting with a woman whose life is a powerful testament to vision, resilience, and impact. From our roots in Ogun State, Nigeria, to building global platforms that give women a voice. Ambassador Adeshola has shown us that true leadership is not about titles, but about service, courage, and legacy. Her journey reminds us that when women are seen, heard, and recognized, nations are truly transformed. To our listeners, may her story inspire you to chase purpose with tenacity and never take a no for an answer when destiny calls. If you actually enjoy this conversation and what we do here, kindly subscribe, share, and leave a comment, as your support is really appreciated. Thank you so much, and bye for now.